Hey guys, it's Taylor here from Adreno. We're here today just looking at the different types of knots you can use for your rigging, for your rubbers and your shafts and things like that. So straight up, we're just going to be looking at the constrictor knot. Typically we'll be using this for tying your rubbers. What I tend to do is I cut off a piece of your 2mm constrictor cord, so it's usually like a nylon 2mm. On each end, I'll just do a standard loop knot. I tie these on each end purely to make sure that I can use 2 screwdrivers and I can make sure that I'm as tight as possible. So I'll place my constrictor cord underneath the rubber, run the rubber over the top to form the X, run that back under. Now with this cord you'll go straight back under the X. From there you'll then want this guy to go straight through this loop here. After you've got that knot, just want to tighten it up nice and clean, and it should look something like that. From there I'll usually move it straight up all the way to the end on your rubbers, 2 screwdrivers and pull. Obviously you'll have a bridle that you'll insert in here as well. From there you'll see that this one doesn't want to pull back on itself whatsoever. Another knot you'll tend to use a lot is going to be the bowline. You'll use this to rig dyneema to your reels, also rigging dyneema to your shafts when you're using dyneema as your shooting line. So I'm just using a 1.5mm dyneema here. On the back of this shaft you'll see the rigging holes. Just going to put that through. Okay, so once you have your dyneema through your shaft, you'll want to form a loop. With this tail, you'll run that through the loop, over the top, back under and through the same way that you went through. Now you'll pull that tight and that's your bowline. I've obviously done that a little bit long there, but that's just showing you the knot, and that's going to be really good. There's going to be no way for a fish to be able to pull on that, but if you want to loosen it, simply pull on the tab and it comes apart. So this next knot we're doing here is going to be the double opposing noose knot. I use this guy typically, just do a nice loop knot that's nice and strong to connect shark clips to the end of your gun. You'll run your section through the loop that you need to connect it to, and whatever you're connecting to, run it through that guy as well. From there you'll make the 2 pieces overlap, give yourself a fair bit of room, because you're going to be looping this dyneema around on itself. Once you have it like this, grab your finger, wrap it around the line, go back to the base where you started and run your line back through those loops that you've just created. And now you just pull on it nice and slowly. Make sure that it tightens nice and evenly. There's that one side. And you'll do the exact same thing. So the biggest thing with this knot is to make sure with each tail that you run the dyneema through whichever direction it's going. So with this one, for me it's going to my right, so I'm going to run the dyneema through all the way around to the right and then back down the guts of it. So again, we're just going to go underneath. Now what you'll see, there's 2 knots there. Then with that, this is what they call a double opposing noose knot. Once you pull on these guys and they get to each other, there's no way that they can pull.
Wow.
Make sure you clean up the tails. Typically do that just by nipping the ends off, running a lighter, and you'll see the end of the dyneema starting to mushroom. Next knot we're going to be looking at is the half hitch. So some of your spear gun manufacturers will come with the rubbers rigged like this. So I'm just going to show you how to fix them if it slips or anything like that, which it can with some manufacturers using a waxy rope. So you run the rubber through the hole, run that off, run that straight back underneath, And once you'll see there's that loop there created, you're going to run that dyneema through there and tighten. Once that tightens, you'll see there's your half hitch and there's your bridle. With your rubber, just repeat the exact same. Run your dyneema through the hole. Run your tail back under the rubber to form a loop. And run that tail back through that loop. And there's your bridle.